Kingdom Hearts 4. I can't believe it's real. It's actually a thing. Oh my god, I'm still not over the hype on that. But holy crap. Okay. As awesome as it was to see the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal trailer, I do have a couple gripes. I personally think we need to set our expectations properly. Kingdom Hearts 3 taught us that we expected too much out of that game. It was the promised child of gaming, and we wanted it to be everything. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. Like, as much as I love Kingdom Hearts 3 as a game, it definitely had some issues. And Kingdom Hearts 4, going forward, I really hope that we just set our expectations on a decent level. But obviously, like, have expectations for it to be a better game, but not, like, unrealistic expectations. So I got a couple that I want to talk about. I really want more combo modifiers in Kingdom Hearts 4. Kingdom Hearts 3's Osaka team showed us that when they're given the time, especially through Remind and the patches that they threw in, they can throw in some really cool regular combos for Sora. And I know that initially they didn't feel like doing all those combo modifiers for base Soras because they had the Keyblade transformations. And the Keyblade transformations are great, like the move sets that they added for them were all really fun to use and everything. But having a base Sora with basic combos really felt off, and it really made the combat feel janky. Especially in Kingdom Hearts 3 before the patch, we didn't have any way to close gaps on most enemies without freaking flow motioning directly into them just to get a chance to get close to an enemy. So definitely some work needs to be done there. Kingdom Hearts 3's combat only had just a bit, like 3-4 basic combo modifiers that were added with 2 situational ones. Kingdom Hearts 2 had a whole bunch more. We had launcher combos, we had ground pounds, upward slashes, we had a whole lot of stuff. If you compare base Sora in Kingdom Hearts 2 to base Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a lot different between the two. Now looking at Kingdom Hearts 4, I hope that the Osaka team kept the same mindset that they had for Kingdom Hearts 3 by giving Sora nice combo modifiers that obviously speed him up, but also give him multiple ways to attack people. Like aerial dive and all that completely changed Kingdom Hearts 3's aerial combat for me, because now I don't have to worry about doing a weird flippy down animation when I'm trying to attack somebody. I do this nice clean little sweep attack, which is sick. Now I hope they add more new specific combos for Kingdom Hearts 4, judging how 4 is obviously going to be a bigger game with Quadratum and everything. I just want to see more combo modifiers. I want Keyblade switching to be seamless and an actual part of the combat. Keyblade switching in Kingdom Hearts 3 was such a cool concept because you could turn Sora into Dante from the Devil May Cry series, which had a lot of potential. And unfortunately, they didn't take advantage of that. They added so much lag in Kingdom Hearts 3 for Sora switching between these Keyblades, especially during transformations, because all of a sudden you're like, I'm trying to do a combo, but I want to switch and use the Shooting Star to do like an aerial launch or whatever with his with the combo finisher. But I got this big lag between moves, so it doesn't feel good. And if I screw up, the enemy's just gonna get out of his hurt animation and just fucking come after me, which was not a fun time. People through mods and figuring out little tricks in the game have managed to add combo switching to Kingdom Hearts 3 retroactively after the PC versions come out, which I use now from now on. I use the improved combat mods for Kingdom Hearts 3 because guess what? It does improve them, and it was literally just a small value change that they could have done at Square Enix in a patch to even fix it. And I hope with the design mentality for Kingdom Hearts 4, they actually do take into consideration that people want combo switching or Keyblade switching in Kingdom Hearts 4. It's not Dante per se, like just switching between and making something seamless in a combo. It's not just a Devil May Cry thing. It's an action game thing in general. And I think jumping up for Kingdom Hearts 4 will be that'll be the best thing for them. And on top of that, I wonder what they're going to do. If not just Keyblade switching, I wonder if they'll have cool animations in between that. Like, I would like to see like a seamless transition. Like, there would be a reason to switch, not just to do a different combo, but you get maybe transitional combos that change depending on how you switch your Keyblade mid-attacking. It's a lot of cool ideas, and especially with the keychain whip thing that they got going on with Kingdom Hearts 4's build system, I wonder if this will even incorporate more into gameplay if you switch Keyblades. Like, a lot of possibilities to consider. And it's a lot of fun things, right? Obviously, they gotta put all that in, and I'm wondering how far they'll take to take this in the future. This is more of a personal opinion. You can agree with me, disagree on this, but personally, I did not like the story structure of Kingdom Hearts 3. And of course, Kingdom Hearts and story are obviously kind of a joke to some people in some ways, but I actually do like the story of Kingdom Hearts. At least the original games I did. Once they started bringing in time travel and all that stuff, it kind of got a bit nuts for me. But with the new Lost Masters saga that they're opening up, or arc, sorry, I really hope that they involve the villains more into the story of Kingdom Hearts. I still think Kingdom Hearts 1 did it the best by having the Disney villains actually be important. And Kingdom Hearts 3 sows some seeds of something happening with Maleficent and Pete, with them trying to get the black box, and even them being in the secret ending and witnessing the Lost Masters just kind of talking in the secret ending with Lucio. I kind of now wish they have more involvement from there. And I know Nomura is hyping up the Lost Masters, the mobile game, and even through these trailers, so I kind of want to see what they're up against, right? Well, by up against and what Sora's up against. And I don't want the story structure to just be Sora in a Disney World, doing his thing, having having a Lost Master or whatever villain come in, taunt Sora, leave. No, I want some conflict. I want the villain to have a more personal attachment to the story. By personal, I mean like he or she is actually doing stuff in the story. And Sora has to face not only the story's plot from the Disney World, but also this Lost Master that's involved. More Kingdom Hearts 2 in the second visits when the organization actually starts like being directly involved. Beast Castle is one of my favorites. Zaldin was a decent villain in that area, mostly because he was just angering the Beast and making him feel insecure about Belle, and that kind of works really well for that story. It has a mix of the original movie's plot, and they also have their own Kingdom Hearts lore mixed in there. And that's what made the fight with Zaldin much more better, and having Beast with me had some emotional value to it. And in Kingdom Hearts 4, you don't face any of the organization members in any of the Disney worlds until you get to the Keyblade Graveyard, which kind of sucks because Kingdom Hearts 2, you faced them pretty decently. Like, you fought Demyx at least 2 times. You fight him once in the underworld just to do his little mini game. Second time you fight him, you kill him. Zaldin, you fight him, you kill him in the second visit to Beast Castle. Like, you have a couple you meet up with those villains a couple times, and I kind of wish they did that. They make them feel more like that presence, and them being a physical threat too, which obviously combines it more to gameplay, which I really like. And I really want them to continue doing that. Bring some of that factor from Kingdom Hearts 2, and also some Kingdom Hearts 1 stuff, where the villains have a reason to screw around with the Disney worlds. Kingdom Hearts 3, we had literally no reason to understand why they were in the Disney worlds until they started bringing in the new Princesses of Heart, which I still think was not enough because Sora didn't have much of a reason to go there besides just letting his heart being his guiding key or whatever. Kingdom Hearts 2, Yen Sid told Sora, hey, the worlds are in danger. Protect them. Sora's like, alright, let's do this. Let's go for another adventure. Kingdom Hearts 1, similar thing, but this time was more personal because he had to find Kairi and Riku. Kingdom Hearts 2, find Kairi and Riku again, or more Riku in that game. I almost said movie, good god. Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora just had to get strong again, even though I feel like Sora was more broken in Kingdom Hearts 3 in the gameplay when you even started. Which is kind of funny. Kingdom Hearts 4, I do want a bit of that mixed in there. And on top of that, I want the scenarios to be cooler. I want that midway point through the game where something intense and big happens. And Sora has to be there in the moment in that process. Kingdom Hearts 3 had you juggling between Riku and Mickey in the same part of the darkness area, which kind of sucked because you don't get to play as Riku, even though he's playable in the game for a little bit. And I kind of wish they did the same thing with Aqua, where they gave him a little segment to go through, and then you encounter some stuff. That could have been great for having a midway point. While Sora is trying to gain his strength back, Riku's going through hell since he is he's now considered a Keyblade Master. His responsibilities compared to Sora's responsibilities are like this now. And Sora has to catch up in order for him to do stuff. They didn't do anything like that. They just they really kept the Disney and Kingdom Hearts stories really separate in Kingdom Hearts 3. I want both of them to be intertwined. Then there's no point of really having much of a story between the two. I just want, it's really just I want to mix it Kingdom Hearts 2's epicness, and I want a Kingdom Hearts 1's story structure. Have the villains be more involved, and have the villains show up more frequently and actually fight Sora, so we actually have cool fights in the Disney worlds on top of the Disney villains. So if they can't, let's say, do a Disney world that doesn't really have much of a good boss fight for the Disney character, instead of using a Heartless, they can use a Lost Master, or they can use a Heartless, or maybe a Lost Master controlling a Heartless, which is part of its gimmick. A lot of good things there. With the story now being kind of soft rebooted, I don't want to really say it's been rebooted because the story's still being continued, but with this new chapter in the Kingdom Hearts story, Nomura has a real good opportunity to actually add some legitimate story structure to these games and give more life back into the series, especially after how convoluted the old arc felt like at the end of the Dark Seeker saga. So, fingers crossed to more consistency. Just some closing thoughts before I completely end it here. This is my first time doing something like this. I'm not usually used to voicing my opinions, and sometimes it gets a little anxious for me. So it's nice that I was at least able to get my thoughts out there, especially for something I like Kingdom Hearts. And it gives me an excuse to have an outlet to kind of give my thoughts out. I'm currently now living on my own, so this kind of stuff is nice to help keep me company on top of living on my own and not having any family near me. So it's nice. I'm hoping for the best for Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts fans are eating good right now. We got Sora and Smash, and now we got a new Kingdom Hearts game that's actually a numbered title, so we don't have 40 million spin-offs that are important to the story, and then we have Kingdom Hearts 4. It's nuts. This is the most consistent, this is the most consistency I've seen in Kingdom Hearts. And it's nice. It's exciting, which is why I'm more cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic, if you will. But it's sick, though. I have not felt this happy for the series since Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out, I think. And it's sick to see the fan bases on the same board as me. Even people I know who don't really care about Kingdom Hearts are even saying, oh, this one looks really cool. Which is much more uplifting to me. It's nice to see the fan base grow and also unanimously agree that this is a good step for Nomura to take and just for the series to go in general. It's a really nice feeling. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, comment, and subscribe. I totally said those words without stuttering at all. Yeah, so comment, subscribe. I'll be making more of these kinds of videos. I like this kind of stuff. And honestly, it's a great, like I said, it's a great outlet for me to practice my editing and just talk. And honestly, I just love discussing this kind of stuff. If you liked what you saw, comment about it. What do you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 4? I almost said 3. I'm still not used to this. But comment on what you like. And hopefully, by the time Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, it'll be the best in the series. I'm literally hoping it is, because there's just so many possibilities now. Yeah, and I'll see you guys around. Take care.